Our final exercise in this week has to deal with with a concrete business problem. We are deciding upon our product advertisements. Our product is targeted more towards a younger population, and we want to know which TV shows to pick. We want to find out how our product's coverage as far as people go is, and we want to know what does it all cost. Now, this exercise deals with tables in Excel. Tables are one such overarching topic in our whole class, and luckily this table, although being big, is not very difficult. It's rather straightforward. So the first cell in the table shows that if we show one advertisement for our product in the TV show called Friends, 6 million men in the age group of 18 to 35 will see this advertisement. Similarly, when we run in Friends one advertisement, the men in the age group of 35 to 55 see the advertisement in the amount of 3 million people. The older men look at the advertisement in the the number of older men is 1 million people, and women watch it in respective amounts of 9 million people, 4 million people, and 2 million people. Okay. Now, different TV shows have different viewerships. So we have other TV shows, Monday Night Football, which is the central football show of the week, American football. Then if we compare Friends and Monday Night Football, first of all, we saw that Friends were predominantly viewed by younger audience, and even more by women than by men. If we compare it with Monday Night Football, then the first thing we see is that women really don't watch this too much. So across all age groups, women are only watching the advertisements in the amount of 1 million. And the number for men is actually even bigger than it was for Friends. We have other TV shows, Malcolm in the Middle, Sports Center, Total Request Live, Lifetime Movie, CNN News Channel, and these numbers are United States numbers, being so big in millions of people per advertisement. So the CNN must also be CNN USA, and finally GAG TV series. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is we want to compare. We want to note at first that CNN has a much smaller number of advertisement viewers in only 0, millions, less than 1 million, and let's start making some conclusions based on this table. Let's at first sum up all the viewers of Friends advertisements. Let's write equals. Sum is a function's name, and now we're just going to sum up the column above us. So we take the 25 and we take and find out that in all age and sex groups a single advertisement in Friends will be seen by, and let's sum it together like we already did today, by 25 million people. Let's copy this formula. So we will have the total numbers for all the TV shows. We see that, for instance, Monday Night Football is viewed by a bit smaller audience. And now the next thing we want to do is see how, for instance, does CNN compare to Friends. It's 1,2 million people. Thus it's how to say it. Friends is more than 20 times more popular than CNN. So it's 1,2 million for CNN. 20 times would be 24. 1,2 times 20 would be 24 million. But Friends is actually 25 million viewers, so it's more than 20 times as popular as CNN is. Okay, let's remember that. Next thing, we want to know, we don't want to know only the sum of all the viewers. We want to know also, let's say, the average. Let's write equals, and average is actually quite intuitive in Excel. It is equals average parentheses, and now the block for Friends viewers. It finds out that on the average in one age sex group, Friends advertisement is watched by 4,17 million people. We will copy it, and of course, as we know from our other courses in business schools, average is not the only thing that is used to assess a statistical set of numbers. For instance, the averages might be really close for two numbers, whereas numbers might be more, the extreme numbers might be more apart. So for instance, if we have numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, then their average is 5, whereas if the numbers are 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, let's say 4, 5, 6, 4, 6, then they have the same average. This is the average, which is the same, but clearly these numbers up on the left column are more deviant from each other, and thus average does not tell the whole story. We should also know from the future courses that there is a function called standard deviation, which would inform us here. Okay, now let's move on. Our next thing is to look at what does an advertisement cost. So for instance, in the Friends show, one advertisement costs, and this is in thousands of dollars, it costs $160,000. And for instance, Monday Night Football was slightly less popular, but it's also a bit less expensive. Of course, it's not all the story. The rest of the story is told by the fact that Monday Night Football is watched by men more, for instance, whereas Friends is watched more by the youth. Now, let's calculate something from this cost right away still. Namely, let's see if $160,000 gets us 25 million viewers. Let's see how expensive is it to get 1 million viewers. Let's write it like this: equals 160,000 divided by 25, because if 25 million comes with 160, then if we divide it by 25, we get how much does it cost for us to get 1 million viewers. Okay, $6,400. Let's copy this value, and here we see that actually Monday Night Football is much cheaper. You get 1 million viewers with $5,882, whereas 6,400 would get you 1 million viewers in Friends. And the next thing is that if we compare now CNN and Friends, CNN has the cost of $8,000 and Friends has $160, which is exactly 20 times more than CNN was as far as cost goes. But remember that Friends was even more than 20 times the viewership numbers. It was 1,2, which times 20 is 24, and the real number was 25, so Friends was more than 20 times as popular, and it costs 20 times more, 20 times, which means that it's actually cheaper. So so we get 1 million viewers for Friends for $6,400, and for CNN it would have been more expensive, slightly though, $6,667. Once again, the viewership number differs by more than 20 times, whereas the cost differs by exactly 20 times. Okay, so here we have, lastly, we have our marketing decision. And the marketing decision has been made by data analysts and researchers, and we want to know what it brings with it. Actually, this is a topic of the process of making that decision is a topic of a further down the road class in a business school, which would be called optimization modeling. We see, as this decision has already been made, and we're only going to see the results of it, we see that the numbers of advertisements have come up really in a weird way. For instance, it tells us to run 4,07 advertisements in Friends, or 79,888 advertisements in SportsCenter, and so forth. So there is a, this must be caused by something, and we will actually by the end see that it's a really cunning decision that has been made, which would kind of be an advertisement towards future courses in optimization. Okay,